Hi Leo, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to your Taurus season horoscope reading. I'm really glad you're here. I appreciate it very, very much. Please subscribe if you haven't. Like and share. I would be very grateful. It helps me as I build my channel. If you would like a personal reading, my website is up and running, and you can head over there and send me a message in the contact section at jovesstar.com. That's JOVESSTAR.com. There's also some information over there. You can read about me personally and why I am working in astrology. Any questions that you might have, throw them down in the comment box. I love the interaction. So I have the chart up here. Let's get right into what's going on for Leo rising in Taurus season. So Leo, you have some very heavy placements. And of course, it depending on what's going on in your life, things can manifest in a wide range of ways. So I will go through and tell you what I see. The sun is in Taurus, which is all about simplicity, our resources, what the things that we absolutely need to survive, getting in touch with our body and our senses. Sun is in your 10th house of career and reputation, your commitments. So this is a time where you may really be focused on that area of life. Uranus is sitting there too, so that could represent having some pleasant surprises, hopefully in the area of your career and your commitments. That would be fantastic. Could also, Uranus has a tendency to also, take us by surprise. If we're expressing the Uranus energy, we might actually take some unexpected action or, sort of experience a twist and a turn or a sense to take a different direction out of nowhere. And Mercury is there as well, so that is a lot of thinking and talking about things in that area of life. The North Node in Taurus sits there too, so those are the karmic nodes of fate. North Node is where we're going, so these nodes are at play for all of us right now, just hitting different areas of life. And the universe is pushing Leo rising towards planting some seeds and making some changes, really thinking about settling in to a job, a career, or your commitments that in a way that will create comfort for you, that is a more simplistic, easier for you to handle. The South Node there, where you can see, is all the way on the other side of the wheel in Scorpio, in your 4th house of the home. So that's where you're coming from. So, this is, leaving behind, everything that you thought you were programmed to do through your family, changing those things and moving into something completely different, even if it's something that, your family of origin would not approve of, or maybe you would have never thought of doing that. So it's moving out of something, giving something up in that area and moving towards something completely different. Now, on the flip side of that, it could also mean that there are changes and upsets in your job. Maybe you left a job, suddenly Uranus is there. Maybe you did that by choice and it is affecting your home life. That could mean, having to move or leave behind your family or your home. And, or took a job somewhere else, that took you elsewhere, that was going to serve you better, and you have to leave home, move elsewhere. The South Node in Scorpio in your 4th house is bringing you away from something. So giving something up in and around home and family. And this could happen suddenly. My hope is that this is something that is good for you. It is T-squaring Saturn, which is in your 7th house of relationships and partnerships. So there could be some tension Your seventh house is in Aquarius, so that is a need to break free and do things differently. There could be some stress and tension. An example of that would be is that you have responsibilities in your home life, and you have you feel restricted in terms of moving towards something maybe in your career, your commitments, because of family obligations. And in the seventh house of partnerships, where Saturn sits, holding you accountable or pushing you towards where you are intended to go, there could be some friction, or there could be some delays or tension. So something around commitments in relationships, partnerships. Seventh house is also legal issues, so could be something like that is actually causing friction and tension and a need to balance between home and career and commitments. So that can be a little gnarly. Saturn is at the later degrees, transiting through your seventh house. Has been there a while, so relationships, partnerships, again, legal issues could have been a thorn in your side for a while. Or you could have just felt very restricted within those agreements and partnerships and relationships, and not been able to actually express yourself or move around as freely as you would like to with a seventh house in Aquarius. Lots of Pisces energy still at play here. Neptune, Jupiter, and Venus all in Pisces conjunct. We've had Neptune and Jupiter in Pisces for a while. Mars has just moved in there. In your 8th house, best case scenario expression would be that it's intimate partnerships. So maybe there is a very spiritual connection that you have been growing and feeling, and that could be the 8th house. Something that it's like a soul connection, a soulmate type thing. Neptune also represents ending, so you could be processing the ending of a relationship or letting go of something there. 8th house can also be shared resources, so it could be debt and what we owe. So if you're feeling some stress between the career and the home and a relationship or a partnership, business or otherwise, and it's a struggle between how much money you might owe and or who owes you, there could be something in that 8th house that you're processing, trying to change, or that is really, really, and powerfully causing some intense emotions or issues. If that is the case for you, Leo rising, Neptune is also where we want to escape. If we can't seem to hold on to faith and, just sort of know and have a connection to the knowing and the sensing and the feeling that things are being worked out universally in the way that they're supposed to be, which is hard to do sometimes when we're dealing with real world situations. But that if things are pressurous and you don't feel like you can talk about it, that there's actually some kind of unhealthy escapism going on in there. And that, around substance or any kind of addictions or things like that, which can be held that they're in the 8th house too. So if you're struggling, it's a good time to reach out and get some kind of therapy, or really tap into something that is spiritual and calming for you. Mars in there in the 8th house, just having gone in at the beginning of the month, could actually give you the inspiration to reach out and ask for help or deal with some of those issues in that house. Or, like I said in the beginning, if it's something that you're cultivating in terms of a soulmate connection or in intimacy, this could actually spark that up. Mars is passion, sex, action, among other things, but it could also spice things up if that is what you're experiencing coming out of your 8th house. So it just depends. But again, if you're struggling, Mars going in there could make you feel a little bit desperate. If you're feeling depressed, you might have an urge to sort of go and do something that may not be healthy for you. So again, reach out for help if you need it. I really hope that there isn't anything serious going on like that for Leo rising, but it's important for me to mention both sides of the expression of the energies. We live in a real world, and we're all dealing with different kinds of things. So if I were to come and say, oh, this is just fantastic, and then somebody's having a really garbage time, that just wouldn't, that's not going to help you. So what else do I see here? I see, you have Pluto traveling through your 6th house of health, and it's in the very late degrees. Like many of these planetary energies are, specifically the outer planets, which are the ones that take longer to transit, like Pluto and Saturn and Neptune and Jupiter. Uranus is kind of in the middle, but when they get towards the end and they've transited a house, which is an area of life, there's sort of a push to complete something in that area of life. So Pluto traveling in your 6th house of service and health, if you aren't feeling well, or if you're struggling like we talked about, this is the time to effect some change. Pluto wants you to transform and change things in that area of life. So it's a really good time. Not feeling well, get out and talk to a doctor. Start taking care of your body, eating and exercising. Some kind of change or movement in that area, which Pluto is pushing you to do, could help if you're struggling with those 8th house issues. Also, the 6th house is your day-to-day routine, so it is related to your work. As well, in terms of coworkers and what you do on a day-to-day basis. So there could be some change there, or a push to change those routines entirely. And you could have been feeling that for a really long time. But with Saturn having that T-square and that stress between the responsibility of home and career, you could feel that a little bit more intensely right now. So that's what's going on for Leo rising. We have some lunations coming up, eclipses coming up. We have a solar eclipse on the 30th coming up real soon in Taurus, and a lunar eclipse on May 15th. Those are kind of a big deal, It's eclipses usually take something away and give us something back, or the energy to plant something new, and a new moon eclipse. So I will be back to talk about those things. And as far as Leo rising, I will see you next month for your Gemini season horoscope reading. Again, if you are interested in a personal reading, reach out to me at jovisstar.com. I would love to read for you. And until next time, may the stars forever be in your favor. Take good care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.